All right, so NXT Takeover. At first, it was NXT Takeover The End, and then they were like,
no,
"Oh no, wait! That's not end this. That's not end this. It's the beginning of the. It's
no,
like
the end. No, the end of the beginning.
The end of the. So I figured they were like, it's Takeover The End, and then they were like, and then. And then fans were like, NXT's over. They're like, no. Just to get everybody not confused. It's the beginning of the end.
No, you mean the end of the beginning.
The end of the beginning. And they're like, oh.
Because NXT...
You just said everybody. I even thought this was like the last show of NXT. I was like, oh my god. And then they were like, oh, it's the end of the beginning. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Why didn't you say that the first time?
Complications, miscomplications. Because NXT's the only good wrestling show aside from the main product. Well, compared to the main product, I should say.
All right, so first match was Ty Dillinger taking on what's this freaking guy's name? Andrade Cien Almas. I can't pronounce his.
That's the closest.
That's the closest I'm gonna get to pronouncing this dude's name.
Even though from what Vince stated about NXT, well, yeah, in this match it was mostly flippy, tricky stuff, which was cool, nonetheless. Especially that one spot where I forgot his name already. Does a moonsault, but Ty Dillinger rolls out of the way and then rolls again into the moonsault. Anyway, that was kind of cool.
Seen it before, no surprise.
Wait, what about that spot where he runs through ropes, Ty Dillinger's like, oh no, better get out of the way, and then he just catches himself in the spam. I'm like, wait, oh, I got you right there.
Yeah, but still, it's like, I'm not excited about this guy. I figured he's just I figured they have him as a typical Spanish gimmick, and it looks like this guy is just a guy with no character.
Well, this was just the first. Well, this is the debut, but then again, first impressions still do matter, though.
It does, but like all I see out of this guy is the same: the flips and the kicks.
What about No Way Jose? Wait, no, that's just getting started as well.
Yeah, that's just getting started, and I haven't seen that much of him. I've only seen like one match of his or a couple matches of his. That's about it. But yeah, I mean, nothing really to get excited about that guy for. Oh yeah, then you got the NXT Tag Team Title match, the Revival versus American Alpha, and definitely another great match here. And I was really surprised they gave the NXT Tag Titles back to the Revival and
make first them two-time champs. NXT Tag Team champs.
Yeah, first two NXT champs.
Well, I guess the reason why
NXT champs.
Well, the reason why I didn't really get behind the match is because American Alpha's gonna win, so why even get excited for the match?
Yeah, but then they swerved. Then they really threw a swerve and had the Revival beat the American Alpha, and I mean, I was okay with it. Honestly, I was okay with it.
I didn't get much reaction, but I was like, okay, not too bad. It was alright, but like
because then again, like. And plus, it's the predictability too, because as you said, you thought you didn't care that much of the match because you thought American Alpha was going to win, but look at what happened.
Yeah,
the Revival retained, and the Revival is actually a good. I mean, yeah, the name is kind of you could do a little better with the name, but they are a good tag team, and they are a great heel tag team.
And I'll give credit to Deluxe Man for him comparing
because this team is actually different.
I know,
like it's not all about the flips and kicks with them. They're actually like a throwback to the Andersons, back to Arn Anderson, back to Ole Anderson. Back to the NWA days.
Yes, that's what he said mainly about the Four Horsemen between Arn Anderson and one other member of the Four Horsemen. They're like those guys. I'll give Deluxe Man credit for that compliment.
Yeah, these guys are actually different. They actually have. They're actually interesting. They're actually a good heel tag team.
And do anything to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, do they cheat a little bit? Yeah, but they don't do it a lot to make them like really chicken, to really make them chicken. Just like the other. Yeah, they're a legit tag team, and And to be fair, like this was good, and I thought Revival going over was all right.
And then Twin Towers 2.0 came in and attacked American Alpha,
Yeah,
demolished him.
I was really like, whoa, who are these guys, and where they even come from?
And then an older manager
And then you have
of the
and then you
Road
have
Warriors
Paul.
came out.
At first I didn't know. I was like, wait, this guy looks familiar. And then they announced that it was Paul Ellering who was manager for the Road Warriors. I was like, wow, what? Why are they bringing him back? I'm like, okay, you got a monster tag team here. You got Paul Ellering as a famous tag team manager of the Road
It
Warriors.
should be good. Plus,
And now you actually have something that kind of like makes that like will challenge American Alpha and have them overcome some odds here.
Yes, plus
Because you got two big ass dudes here plowing through them, and now you're like, oh, how are they gonna recover here?
plus their actual names are as converted by
Yeah,
Jossman.
I don't even know their names.
They're called the Authors of Pain.
Oh, WWE and their names, man. WWE and their names. But I'll take it as it is. I don't care.
I forgot what their actual names are, but it's not as bad as
Authors of pain. I mean, okay, it kind of made sense in the way because they're big guys and they want to inflict pain on people. So it makes sense in a way, but I don't know. The name is kind of like more. The name is kind of like 80s stuff. Like it's like they're kind of stuck in the 80s and they're like, let's make them like an 80s style tag team. But I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna make that big of a deal of it.
It would be kind of cool if they actually decided to rename them the Twin Towers.
No, let's not.
Wasn't that team made out of Earthquake and Tugboat?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you get to Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Austin Aries.
Going in as a heel, somewhat.
I don't know whether they were trying to make Austin Aries a healer because at first he was coming in like a baby face. Now all of a sudden he's a heel. Like where's this coming from now? Which I don't know. I was confused. I mean, Nakamura. I'll admit Nakamura's entrance was pretty cool,
as it usually is.
But that's all. That's the only thing I like about the guy, to be honest, was the entrance.
It's not a fan of his King of Strong style.
I mean, I feel like he's really overhyped. I feel like people overrate him too much. I don't want to say he's bad. I mean, he's not bad. He's not a bad wrestler, but it's just like okay. I don't think he's that. Like,
but it's Shinsuke Nakamura. Why are you not
it's like, but it's Nakamura. But it's Nakamura. Okay. I don't know that much about the guy. Take it easy.
What if they said, but it's AJ Styles? Well, then that's a different story in a sense.
Well, okay, I mean, but I've known about AJ since like 2005. So of course I'm gonna get excited. But I knew nothing about Nakamura. I don't watch New Japan.
Oh yeah, sidetrack for a second. Jeff Hardy wants to come back and have his final match be at WrestleMania.
I mean, if WWE will let him.
Yes, and
after the many times he's failed drug tests
and lost at WrestleMania, but at least 4 times the charm. If this is his 4th WrestleMania match, for next year.
No, he's been in more WrestleMania matches.
16, 17, and
18
against 2.
It was Hardy's, Dudley's, and Hardy's, Dudley's, APA, and Billy and Chuck.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Edge and Christian again or something.
No, they were separate at that time.
Oh, okay, so 5 matches, 5 times the charm.
18, not 20, 22. No, not 23.
Oh wait, okay, 6 times,
25.
6 times the charm.
No, 6 times the charm. Okay, but anyways, back to Takeover. Nakamura beats Aries. Didn't really care. Just didn't really care because I didn't know what was on the line. Nothing was going on. So
well, we know it would be a good dream match if Daniel Bryan didn't have to retire. If Daniel Bryan faced Nakamura at next year's WrestleMania.
Well, a Mark fan could dream. Then you got the NXT Women's Championship. Asuka versus Nia Jax. It was pretty good. Just just pretty good.
Decent.
I mean, okay. I mean, there was some cool things in it, but it wasn't a great match.
But
But
we even though we hyped it up, but like the finish, where it's like, okay, the kicks Nakamura. I mean, Nakamura.
you're still stuck in the Nakamura match.
Kicks Nia Jax. She goes like, ah, and then she back.
Kicks him, and then that's it.
I was like, wait, what? That's
it. That was kind of a questionable finish, but whatever. It was still questionable. The match itself was all right, but the finish was just kind of questionable. It's like, okay, it's like, all right, that was kind of anticlimactic, but
And then we got to the main event.
So,
and Jay is back.
or is this tier right now?
That's my NXT Takeover.
Yeah.
I heard that the Jason Jordan and whatever their name is, they had a good match.
Yeah, but they lost the tag titles.
I know, I'm so mad. They're probably gonna get caught up.
Of course, by the new team that got tagged them, but like that steel cage match needed blood. Yes, it did.
But I don't know. From how this match went on, I didn't think it was too necessary. I mean, it would have been great if it was blood, but how this was going, I actually was kind of enjoying this steel cage match.
So
I wouldn't say best match of the night actually, but
it's American Alpha.
Yeah, it was probably the American Alpha Revival match was actually match of the night for me, but Joe and Balor match was not bad either. It was actually pretty good, and like these guys were actually selling. They were actually telling a pretty good story. These are two guys that were tag teaming at one point in the Dusty Rhodes tag team tournament. Joe turns on him. They're building all this up, and then you have this whole blow off in the cage. And for the most part, it was actually a really good match.
Yes, and it was an actual fight too.
Yeah, and it actually felt like a fight between these guys.
I didn't even watch the pay-per-view. I was too busy.
And it was a good finish too. You have Joe Muscle Buster off the cage. Well,
Off
not off the cage. Off the
Yeah,
turnbuckle.
that would have killed him.
Yeah, that would have definitely murdered
Or
Finn Balor.
paralyzed him.
If it did it to Tyson Kidd on a regular one, imagine what he did.
Oh yeah,
If he did on the thing.
would have killed Tyson.
And the Demon gets his first loss.
At an NXT Takeover.
Yeah. Well, overall, the show was good.
Yeah, and I mean Joe winning needed to happen. I mean Balor had his moment in the sun in NXT. So.
And next up, WWE. Time to get mistreated.
Yep, time to get buried by Cena.
Wait, well, what if WWE does go by your booking or does some similar booking and it leads to Balor versus Cena?
I only hope then I'm fine with it. I don't care. Just don't rush this whole AJ Styles Cena match because you could put Balor and Cena right away because that's not much of a dream match. That's sort of like okay, these two. That's sort of like okay, these two are just facing on a pay-per-view, whatever.
Just like Goldberg and Jericho.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Except there was an actual rivalry with that one.
Yeah, well, there was actual rivalry. There was actual story. There was actually going back to WCW. But, yeah. NXT, this TakeOver wasn't one of the best. It wasn't the best. I wouldn't say it wasn't one of the best.
But it was decent.
But it was somewhat decent. Wasn't great. I still think our Evolution is by far the greatest TakeOver.
Brooklyn was the best for me.
I'd say Brooklyn is second best for me.
Well, I gotta see our Evolution as well. The whole thing.
Actually, I kind of debate whether Brooklyn is or NXT Respect, which is the one where it was Sasha Banks and Bailey in the
really
match.
You're debating over that I'm
mostly leaning towards Brooklyn as second best.
I don't know the other matches for our Evolution, but there was basically a two-match show between Zayn and Neville, and Kevin Owens match. Okay, that was good, and then we had
the women's title match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks, which was really damn good. That was really.
But there was
damn
one
good.
other match that was on that card. I just don't remember what it
Wait,
was.
what?
Our Evolution.
Wasn't like
There,
Sasha
it was
and
also. Oh yeah, and it was also Finn Balor's first takeover. It was Balor and Hitami.
I thought he was returning. I thought he was gonna return.
Yeah, I don't know when Itami's return, but it was Balor and Itami versus the Ascension, which was really good, and you saw Balor's demon entrance for the first time, which was really cool. So I still think our Evolution was probably
Okay,
the
fine.
best.
They had more matches, more legitimate matches with storytelling. Okay, fine. I'll give it that. Well, I got us in the pay-per-view too. But yeah, well, what was match of the night?
For our Evolution.
Yes.
Oh, probably Zayn and Neville, because they told a magnificent story and they had a great match.
Yeah, I gotta see it. Or even though I saw part of it, but
See, at least people could really get behind Sami Zayn if he had a character. He doesn't have that much character since he's been on the roster. He was actually booked well in NXT and actually had character in NXT.
But apparently they don't care.
And people actually got behind him during the Neville match in our Evolution.
And
I was rooting for him. I was like, oh my god, Sami Zayn's actually gonna win this.
And even during his match with Cesaro too. At the first NXT, no, now it's NXT.
That was a rival. NXT Takeover Rival.
Oh, NXT Takeover. Oh, I thought it was just called NXT Rival, but no, NXT. The first ever takeover.
So
Yeah.
they said it's the end. Does that mean like the end?
No, it's the end of the beginning.
It means what this pretty much means is like they're saying the end of the beginning, like, you know, you saw that generation of NXT, like the first generation of NXT stars like Bayley and Neville and
First generation, Bayley's still on there.
well, she's the only one from that generation that's still on there.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's the
Seth
big-
Rollins.
the big-
But they're saying,
Ambrose.
yeah,
So
but
they go
they're
wide
saying
now.
there's going to be a whole new wave of people, of new talent that's going to make a whole new generation of NXT.
Can't wait for it.
I'm hoping.
I know Billy.
Carmella leads the charge.
That I don't know, but
It's gonna be
we'll
Nia
see.
Jackson,